Hey, welcome back everyone to Patriot Knife and Tool. Dwayne coming at you here with a quick one here. It's been it's been a wild 3 days or so. A lot of families things have popped up. And I probably won't be doing a video for a little while. I'm going to have to go down and see. We're going to have to get down and see the father-in-law. He's had cancer. This is looking like it might be time, and we'll stop in to see my 90-year-old mom while we're at it. She's hanging in there. And folks, when you get my age, things like the way it's been the last 3 days or so in our home, it happens, and it'll happen more frequently the older you get. And that's just the way it is on our trail of life down here. But I believe in the good Lord, and there is more after this. So our time down here is just a kind of a drop in the bucket. But we're going to go down the Indian Trail here real quick, and I hope I can get in a little bit of picking on that trip. If I do, I'm going to share it with you. But I want to give a channel plug, and this is kind of a 2 for Tuesday here. Here's an old jack, but I want to give a channel plug to a really cool channel here. Drew's Collector's Edge. He posted last night, he posted a video of this awesome, well over 100-year-old jackknife, ebony scales on it, and he's got a great channel, folks. Check him out, Drew's Collector's Edge. That knife is amazing. Just a great, I'm not going to tell you what brand tang stamp that knife is. It's all in on his little short video. But check his channel out. Yeah, give him a plug, subscribe, Drew's Collector's Edge. All right. Yeah, we're going to go down the Indian Trail here. And I'll be going down the trail here real soon on a trip kind of unexpected. But it's all good. So, there's an aspect about these 2 for Tuesday knives that I want to talk about here, and I'm talking about what you see right here. See this big groove here? Most people know that as worm groove jig bone. Okay, most people know that as worm groove, but another term, it's kind of like an old term, is Indian Trail. And I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. I haven't had a chance to do the research on it. But Cattaraugus Cutlery, they're the ones that made this 100-year-old knife. Big worm groove going all the way down. Cattaraugus Cutlery, I think, might have been the ones that really called it the worm groove first, or who knows. Maybe it's lost in knife lore. But personally, I like Indian Trail. I like that term better. I just think it's a cat's meow. It's kind of cool. And so, yeah, man, the Indian Trail. Yeah, see that? That's the Indian Trail, man. We're all following a trail in our life. But that's kind of cool. So, yeah, you got an old Cattaraugus knife here. And I've got a really, really cool picture book I'm going to share with you here. It's one of a kind. It's absolutely amazing. But Cattaraugus Cutlery, man, going way, way back, they were heavily associated with the American Indian. All their old literature featured the Cattaraugus woman. She was Seneca Indian. And so, yeah, the neat pocket knife lore, and I think that's why Cattaraugus is one of my favorite cutleries, along with their association with Case and all the other. This thing is so monster stout. Got a little honest wear on this pup, but this is why I really like this knife a lot too. It's Cattleman's. But the Indian Trail, folks, this is an old cat here, and this is an old, it's stamped Terrier cutlery, but it was made by Robeson only for a couple years. Indian Trail. Yeah, man. So let's get into this. You're gonna dig this, folks. I actually have a old snapshot of the Cattaraugus woman, the Seneca Indian woman, standing by a lake, leaning against a tree. Very cool. The Indian Trail. Have you ever heard of the famous poem, The Song of Hiawatha? It's by the famous poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. And he wrote it in 1855. It's based on an Ojibwa Indian warrior named Hiawatha. So I'm just getting this right off of Wikipedia here. And his tragic love for Minnehaha, a Dakota woman. You know, the events in the story are set in the pictured rocks area of Lake Michigan and the south shore of Lake Superior. Yeah, this is cool here. Check this out. So, Longfellow drew some of his material from his friendship with Ojibwa chief, and I can't pronounce that. His English name was George Copeway, who would visit Longfellow's home. He also had frequent encounters with Black Hawk and other Sauk Indian people on the Boston Common. But anyway, it really kind of gets into it, but it's a really, really cool poem. Very historic, very cool, and I think it's so cool as we go down this Indian Trail that we kind of take a look at this Indian Trail Cattaraugus knife, you know. So let's go down the Indian Trail, folks. This is an amazing piece of historical photography here in a little book. I cannot believe, I've had this a long time. I just don't even know if people knew what they had. But these are Ojibwa or Ojibwe Indians in the Lake Michigan area. Look at his little snowshoes there. This is a book based on the famous poem, Song of Hiawatha. And it doesn't have all the whole poem written out, but it has major parts. So, oh, such a noble warrior. Let's open it up. There's some photographs in here that'll blow your mind. This was probably done about 1900. Look at that little Ojibwa Indian boy holding some arrows there. And the birds sang around him and over him, "Do not shoot us, Hiawatha." Now I've got these in protective sleeve here, so there may be some glare. These are original photographs here. But there's some in here that are just mind-blowing here. Now that chief that Longfellow, that used to visit Longfellow, I haven't looked it up, but he might be in here. That's his Ojibwe Indian name there. Look at this. Look at his pipe. Look at his belt wrap. Look at the beadwork. It's an old man there. Yeah. That this peace may last forever and our hands be clasped more closely. Those are all parts of the poem. Now that there is a longhouse. That's remnants of a longhouse. That's what the Huron and the Iroquois and Ojibwe and all those New England up into Canada. That was the type of shelter they lived in. Look at this. This is inside of a shelter here. That's wampum belts. Those are sacred. And there's the head chief right there. I guarantee you those sacred wampum belts are probably hundreds of years old. And this was taken about 1900. Is that amazing? Yeah, they love their pipes. Their red stone pipes. Here he is relaxing on a woven mat. Looks like the lake is right there. Smoking in a pleasant shadow in uninterrupted silence. Even the women smoke. Look at that. Look at that red stone pipe with the pewter inlay on it. That's pretty special, man. Here's a couple warriors here. In their faces, stern defiance. In their hearts, the feuds of ages. So this guy's got a ball club there, a spiked ball club in his hand. And this Indian here has what look like a shotgun. Cool. This is probably the oldest Indian in the bunch right here. You get these old snapshots here. Calls the tribes of the men together, calls the warriors to his council. That in even savage bosoms there are longings and yearnings and strivings. Look at this old. That's his name right there. I will probably gift this, donate this to a museum back there. I don't know who put this together. Definitely it was maybe a tribal member. I'm thinking of a photographer that was friends with the Ojibwe people in that area. There, the wrinkled old Nokomis nursed the little Hiawatha. Yeah, and then in the back, the sun's going down on the lake. Very pleasant is the firelight, but I like the starlight better. Better do I like the moonlight. Yeah, man. Isn't that cool? The Indian Trail. Thanks for joining me, folks.